Actually, me and my husband weren't supposed to be up in Salt Lake. We were there on a whim, basically. We came up here to see Taylor Swift perform Saturday night. I had a really good time, and Sunday we went to church with my family, and we were having the barbecue because my dad's a really good cook, and so that's why everything went into play. And that we were actually having a really good time before, and playing games, laughing. We even had like these little mustache straws, and then I had my plate of food, and I was really hungry, and I got this overwhelming feeling of like, oh, I'm kind of tired stuff. So I put my left hand on my forehead.
I asked her, I says, Ashley, are you okay? And she just looked at me like she was trapped, and she was really scared. And I didn't notice at the time that her whole right side was not moving. And so I just immediately jumped up and grabbed the phone, called 911, and I said, I think my daughter's having a stroke. They got to the house probably within 6 to 7 minutes, and then I think they had her into the hospital in the ER within 15 minutes. The doctor explained to us that since she had her left carotid artery, when the blood clot threw up into her left carotid artery, it affects the whole right side of her body. Her speech is on her right side. We didn't know any of this information. It was tremendous news when the doctor came out and said that they had gone in to retrieve the clot, and by the time they got in there, the TPA enzyme had already broken up the clot, and so they just administered a little bit more of the enzyme in there to make sure that it was not going to clot any further into her brain area, and that she responded very well, and that she's going to be great. And he called himself a plumber. I thought that was really interesting. He said he was the plumber. So we were very, very relieved, and that was only probably within an hour of her being in the hospital. But then we had the onset of her being in the room and having no response to her right side until about 3 o'clock in the morning. We got a little bit of action out of her limbs, and we were ecstatic at that point. So, but they informed us that the TPA enzyme was administered to her within 18 minutes of her arriving at the hospital. So we are totally blessed and totally ecstatic that the enzyme was administered as quickly as possible, because we feel that that's why she recovered so quickly. As a mother, I would have never thought that my daughter would have had a stroke. But it was very apparent when she did have the reaction at the family picnic that there was something wrong, and it definitely, she was still breathing and she was still functioning, so I knew it wasn't a heart problem. It had to be stroke.
I'm graduating this Friday from Dixie State University, and I got my degree in physical therapist assistant, so I'm really excited to get out in the field and get out and into my career and help those that have had strokes, and for other orthopedic and all the neurological symptoms. And
the staff, the doctors, nurses, everybody in ICU were tremendous. I couldn't give them better than a A++. They were awesome. Our care here was terrific.